Okay. Trying not to, kind of set up. Anyway, welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we're here to talk about Clash in Italy. Okay. It is the upcoming 2026 PLE to be streamed in Turin, there's no P. Turin, Italy. It will be in the Alnipi. I don't even know how to say it, but it will be in Italy, of course. There are 5 matches, which kind of suck. There are 5 matches made so far for this event. We have Cody versus Gunther for the WWE Undisputed WWE Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in Tribal Combat for the World Heavyweight. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, Part 2. And Becky Lynch defending the title against Sol Ruca, a women IC title. So let's go down the list by worst, if we should. Personally, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill haven't had any follow-up here, so sure. On night 2 of WrestleMania 42, Rhea Ripley defeated Jade Cargill to win the Women's World Championship, despite interference from Cargill's BFAB and Michin. On the May 8th episode of SmackDown, Cargill returned and attacked Rhea Ripley during her 6-woman tag team match, costing her team the win. Ripley was outnumbered by Cargill, BFAB, and Michin following her match. On the May 15th episode, Cargill challenged Ripley to a rematch for the title at Clash in Italy, which Ripley accepted the following episode. A day later, a Saturday Night Main Event, Cargill, Michin, and BFAB defeated Ripley with Cargill pinning Ripley. This is just so that Cargill could get the win, make herself, look good, just so Ripley can defeat her in the end. So this is a clear-cut, painted by the numbers prediction, but Rhea Ripley defeats Jade Cargill to retain the Women's Championship and hopefully can move on to some other challengers, maybe Flair and maybe Bliss. Potential. So, final prediction, Rhea Ripley retains the WWE Women's Championship. On night 2, WrestleMania 42, Brock Lesnar, accompanied by Paul Heyman, lost to Oba Femi. Following the match, an emotional Lesnar removed his gloves and boots and left him in the center of the ring, seemingly retiring from professional wrestling. In the weeks that followed, Femi has held weekly open challenges where he remained undefeated until May 18th episode of Raw. After Femi made his entrance and posed in the ring, he was attacked by a returning Lesnar who performed 4 F5s on Femi. Later backstage, Paul Heyman handed general manager Adam Pearce a contract for a rematch between Lesnar and Femi at Clash in Italy, with Lesnar's signature already on it. The match was subsequently made official, and Femi signed the contract the following episode, wanting to destroy the Beast. So here is 2 things that could happen. There's 2 routes, both with different predictions, but I'm going to go with the one that I most likely agree with. So if WWE is done with Lesnar and wants to put over the monster, or put over the ruler of the WWE, then Oba Femi should win this bout, okay? To fully put him over as a top star. If this is a story, however, if they're trying to tell something, if they're trying to continue this feud that they have going on, Brock Lesnar needs to get the win. So then by the time at Night of Champions, there is some sort of stipulation added, a last man standing match, something that makes it feel, just feel worth watching. Because you don't want to watch a match that you already watched at WrestleMania and have to go into it thinking like, okay, this is just going to be the same thing. Oba Femi is going to beat Brock Lesnar. No, Brock Lesnar was humbled. This time, Brock Lesnar is prepared Brock Lesnar is prepared and ready to do battle. So it really comes down to what WWE is trying to do. When you find that out, or how do you find that out? Well, based on the keys, Oba has remained undefeated. So taking 1 loss, remember how I talked about momentum? A superstar who has multiple wins and has only taken a few losses or ever taken a loss, taking 1 loss will not hurt their momentum as long as they're produced and continue to go out and stake their claim for whatever they see fit. Oba Femi is just like Lesnar, Oba Femi is no exception either. Oba Femi could take a loss here and we could get a rematch, a third match between the two with a stipulation, a last man standing match or a Brock Lesnar retirement match. Who knows? Whatever it may be. I still believe that Brock Lesnar will retire to Gunther at SummerSlam, however, but we don't know what the future holds. So, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that Brock Lesnar should win this match if WWE is telling a story, because I have to lean towards the story. It's storytelling. WWE can continue telling the story of Brock Lesnar and Obafemi about who's dominant or who can withstand what pain they endure to each other. Personally, Obafemi's going to bring it, but Brock Lesnar is going to be calculated. Brock Lesnar isn't going to be humbled at Mania. He isn't going to be, struggling. So he's prepared. My final prediction is Brock Lesnar beats Obafemi in Italy. Let's move on to Sol Ruca and Becky Lynch, because that's something to talk about. On the May the 4th be with you, episode of Raw, Sol Ruca's contract signing to become the newest member on the Raw brand ended with her being interrupted by yours truly, Becky Lynch, who chastised the Raw General Manager Adam Pearce as she assumed Ruca's contract signing would instead be a celebration of greatness. After exchange of words, Ruca threatened that if Lynch ever interrupted her again, she would attack her. Lynch attempted to punch Ruca, who avoided it, and Lynch struck Pearce instead. Ruca subsequently performed a soul snatcher on Lynch. The following week, Ruca lost a match, which Lynch taunted her for. On the May 18th episode, Lynch interrupted Ruca's interview and mocked her once again. Ruca then went to the ring and called out Lynch, who challenged her to a title match on that night's episode. Lynch declined. However, she would face her at Saturday Night Main Event. However, without the title on the line, she has to earn it. So at the event, Ruca attempted a soul snatcher on Lynch, who then led to Jessica Carr getting into it. She declared the winner to be Ruca by disqualification because, well, that just makes sense, even though it fucking doesn't. Lynch would then attack Ruca afterwards. Later that night, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis informed Lynch that after speaking with Pearce, as a result of her actions, she would be defending her title against Ruca at Clash in Italy. It is also rumored that Sol Ruca could be suffering an injury here. So if WWE decides to change that, you guys know what the deal is. I will be giving you guys an update on, through the YouTube reels on who I think will win. And quite frankly, that's if Sol Ruca is medically cleared to compete against Lynch. It doesn't matter. Lynch is still winning because Sol Ruca had to pick up the victory at Saturday Night Main Event. It's the same thing with Cargill having to pick up the win against Rhea Ripley. So for this prediction, Becky Lynch retains the title. However, best of wishes and lucks to Sol Ruca in recovering from her injury. Hopefully she is okay and it's nothing serious, because that is what I believe. Anybody who gets injured, anybody who gets hurt, I send my condolences. Let's talk about Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, because that seems to be the one that's going to open the show. So at Backlash, Roman Reigns retained the World Heavyweight Championship against his cousin Jacob Fatu from SmackDown. After the match, Fatu viciously attacked Reigns, leading to WWE officials coming out to break up the brawl, including Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. 2 nights later on Raw, Pearce wanted to fire Fatu. However, Roman Reigns did not allow it because he needed Fatu to acknowledge him first. That was the deal. Despite the warnings from the Usos to not confront Reigns, Fatu attacked both Usos and engaged in a brawl with Reigns, which ended with Fatu standing tall amongst all of the bloodline, Roman and the Usos. The following week, as Reigns was coming to the ring to call out Fatu, he appeared first, calling out Reigns. The Usos came instead, and after exchange of words, Jay attacked Fatu, prompting Jimmy to interfere. Fatu would get the upper hand on both men. However, Roman Reigns appeared and then subsequently outnumbered him. Following that, Pearce was about to fire Fatu. However, Fatu challenged Reigns to tribal combat, to which Reigns accepted. The match has been made for here. Doesn't matter. Same outcome. I think Jacob's going to be more vicious, more aggressive this time around. But the Usos are most likely to get involved in this, too, to kind of put Jacob down for good. Maybe put a table over him. Who knows? Roman Reigns retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Doesn't matter. Jacob Fatu is not, not there yet. So I believe that Jacob shall keep waiting for his opportunity or his moment. He will shine, though, in this tribal combat. And this is where I don't get it. Like, I wish somebody else, like when they were doing the tribal thief gimmick with Bronson Reed, that would have been a great time to have a tribal combat and have Reed win it. So because the last 2 tribal combats, Roman Reigns has won. So, and the last one we saw was against Solo, and look how that ended up. Not so good. Therefore, what difference would this be? I mean, to end Roman Reigns' title reign this early? No. Roman should lose it at SummerSlam to this man, Obafemi. He should lose it to Obafemi because that would be better. Regardless, I mean, maybe they do Reigns and Rollins and then have Braun Breaker steal the title from fucking, because that seems like the setup. As far as I'm concerned, that looks like the setup. But remember, Money in the Bank is not going to happen at SummerSlam. Money in the Bank's not going to happen before SummerSlam. It's going to happen after SummerSlam. So there's something to look forward to. My final prediction is Roman Reigns retains the Ulafala and the World Heavyweight Championship. Which brings us to Gunther and Cody, a match that has been booking itself since Cody came back and won the Royal Rumble. Gunther saved Paul Heyman from an attack by Rollins. Now, later backstage, Gunther told Heyman that he was owed a favor. On the May 1st episode of SmackDown, after Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes won his match, he was attacked by Gunther, who subsequently posed with the Rhodes title. The following week, Gunther, alongside Heyman, was about to sign the contract for Gunther to officially join SmackDown. However, Rhodes appeared in the ring and called Gunther out. Heyman appeared instead, revealing another contract which was made against Rhodes for the title. However, Rhodes stated that he would fight Gunther on that night's episode. A contract was not needed. Heyman then stated that this match would not happen there and revealed the favor he owed Gunther was a contract for a title match at Clash in Italy. Heyman then handed the contract to Rhodes and stated that if he wants Gunther's name on the contract, he would have to get it himself. Gunther subsequently appeared and a brawl between both men ensued. However, Rhodes got the upper hand. On the May 15th episode, Rhodes tried to convince Gunther to sign the contract to join SmackDown and also to have the title shot at Clash in Italy, which Gunther initially did not want, stating that Rhodes had ruined the contract signing the previous week. After demanding that Rhodes be respectful when introducing him and stalling on his contract signing, Royce Keys appeared and stated that he would sign the contract instead. Gunther then stopped him, with SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis scheduling a match with Gunther and Keys later that night, with the winner challenging Rhodes for the title at Clash in Italy. This is where it gets me right here. Nick Aldis scheduled a match with the winner challenging Rhodes for a match at Clash in Italy when there is literally a contract stating that Gunther would have to get a match against fucking Cody Rhodes. All he had to do was sign it and join SmackDown. This fucking thing is stupid. But anyway, Cody Rhodes should be winning this match. There's no there's nothing I can say. I can't see Gunther really winning the WWE title at this point right now. He needs to be set up for bigger things. Taking a loss here for Gunther is not really big. Cody Rhodes and Gunther will perform if they are the main event. It looks pretty good. I don't see anything wrong. They can't have a bad match. They really can't. CM Punk and Rhodes would probably be the path to go for SummerSlam. However, Punk is dealing with some other problems from fans, instead of smacking people's phones out of their hands. Don't blame them. Don't get up in my business. Simple. But anyway, Cody Rhodes retaining feels like the great path. And with Royce Keys even stepping up during that, time period, it looks like there's a match already set in stone for Royce Keys and Cody Rhodes at some point. Who knows? However, Cody would need to lose it to somebody worth, dropping it to. And I believe Punk is the right choice, not Gunther. Gunther is exceptional. Gunther is exceptional. However, Cody Rhodes has dropped. How many times has Cody Rhodes dropped the title just to pick it back up later? Like 3 times now. My final prediction is Cody Rhodes defeats Gunther to retain the WWE Championship. So, every champion is retaining, and I believe that Brock Lesnar is winning. Great challengers. Not going to lie, great challengers, all in a respectful manner. But at the end of the day, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, Ruka, Jacob, they're just big names. We haven't even seen Drew McIntyre come back yet. Where's Drew McIntyre? Bring that motherfucker back. Right? Maybe Drew shows up at fucking Clash in Italy and screws Jacob. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We haven't seen Drew in quite some time. I'm kind of nervous. I want to see him back. I want to see the Scottish Warrior come back. Anyway, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, Brock Lesnar are my predictions for Clash in Italy. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will be back on Monday to give you the review of Clash in Italy. And I'll be back Tuesday to give you the Raw review. And then join me Saturday for the SmackDown summary. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace.